Let's talk about something that makes people uncomfortable, and yet is happening more often than we want to admit: infidelity, specifically female infidelity. It's a conversation that's long overdue, not just about who's cheating more, but why it's happening, how it's framed, and what it reveals about modern relationships. You might be surprised to hear this, but women are cheating more than men. Yes, far more. But you won't hear it talked about openly, at least not in the way we should be talking about it. Why? Because when women cheat, the language changes. The narrative is redirected. It becomes less about betrayal and more about unmet needs, emotional disconnect, or finding myself. Let's unpack this slowly, honestly, and with real-life insight. Part 1. Why people deny female infidelity. When a man cheats, people often call it exactly what it is: cheating. It's straightforward. It's labeled and condemned. But when a woman cheats, something curious happens. The language softens. It's no longer cheating. It's reframed as, "He wasn't meeting my needs," or "I felt emotionally neglected," or "We were growing apart." Many women don't even identify their behavior as infidelity. Instead, they rationalize it, often unconsciously, as something that just happened due to circumstances beyond their control. This allows them to dodge the guilt, avoid personal accountability, and keep the moral high ground. In coaching sessions, I've seen this pattern repeatedly. It's not just anecdotal, it's recurring, it's consistent. And it's honest, if uncomfortable, evidence that the conversation around cheating needs to shift. Part 2. The masculine-feminine dynamic and infidelity. Infidelity, in many cases, is a byproduct of misaligned polarity, where the man is no longer operating in his masculine and the woman has drifted from her feminine. And by masculine and feminine, I don't mean traditional gender roles. I'm talking about the energetic balance that makes a relationship function. A man who lacks healthy masculinity becomes too agreeable, afraid of conflict, and unwilling to enforce his boundaries. He becomes a man who tolerates unacceptable behavior for fear of losing the relationship. That man unknowingly signals to his partner that she can act however she pleases because he won't leave. A woman who cheats in that dynamic often doesn't fear losing her partner. Why? Because he doesn't have the courage to walk away. And when that fear is absent, respect erodes. Without respect, intimacy follows. And eventually, fidelity. Part 3. The nice guy trap. Let's talk about the man women say they want versus the man they stay loyal to. A woman might claim she wants a man who lets her be free, doesn't question her choices, supports her unconditionally, and never says no. But often, what she actually needs is a man with integrity, strength, and healthy boundaries. A man who can lead, not control. Women rarely cheat on strong men with firm but fair boundaries. They might leave them, sure, but they typically won't deceive them. Why? Because deep down, they respect them too much to betray them. But the nice guy, he's easy to cheat on. He provides a house, maybe financial security, handles the kids, and in return asks for very little. When he finally says, "I'm uncomfortable with you posting bikini pictures online," he's told he's controlling or oppressing, and the conversation ends there until it happens again. That man isn't seen as a partner, he's a provider, an enabler, and eventually an irrelevant emotional background character. Part 4. Why women sometimes stay but cheat. Some women don't leave, they cheat. Not because they lack values, but because they've developed a belief that emotional unhappiness equals entitlement to emotional escape. They stay with a man who enables them because it allows them the freedom to chase external validation from other men, from social media, from their own unresolved wounds. Some stay because it's convenient. He pays the bills, he's emotionally passive, he won't challenge her. so she can plan trips with her girlfriends, stay out late, keep in touch with exes, or flirt online without consequence. And when she is questioned, she uses the ultimate tool of emotional manipulation, victimhood. She flips the conversation. She's the one who's not being seen. She's the one who's overworked, overwhelmed, or emotionally abandoned, even if that's not the reality. Part 5. When women leave without cheating. It's important to note, not all women cheat. Many women, particularly those with deep values and integrity, will walk away before they betray someone. They'll say, "This isn't working," or "I'm not in love anymore," and they'll leave. They may grieve, they may cry, but they will not cheat. These are women who are still connected to their moral compass, and they understand that cheating is not a solution. It's a breach of trust, both personal and relational. Part 6. When men get cheated. Many men who get cheated on aren't bad husbands. They're often good men, doing the best they can. But somewhere along the way, the emotional connection faded, and they didn't know how to rebuild it. Maybe they stopped showing up emotionally. Maybe they weren't paying attention. Maybe they got so caught up in providing that they forgot to be present. Or maybe they were simply too soft, always agreeing, never leading, constantly apologizing just to keep the peace. In some cases, the woman felt like his emotional and physical needs became a list of demands. She grew resentful, detached, and eventually disconnected. Part 7. Emotional disconnection and escort culture. Now here's something uncomfortable but real. When men feel invisible in their own homes, when they're no longer touched, thanked, or emotionally supported, they often retreat. And sometimes they retreat into something transactional, escorts, sugar babies, or emotional affairs. Why? Because the relationship already feels transactional. He's already the ATM. He's already the silent partner. He's already the one giving and getting nothing in return. So, to his mind, what's the difference? That doesn't make it right, but it does make it understandable. Men, like women, crave emotional and physical intimacy. They want to feel wanted, appreciated, and seen. And when they don't get that at home, when the woman they love stops noticing they exist, it can lead to devastating consequences. Part 8. Femininity isn't weakness, it's powerful. Let's clarify something. Being feminine doesn't mean being submissive, weak, or catering to a man's every whim. Femininity is about emotional intelligence, nurturing energy, and the ability to sense needs before they become conflicts. It's the difference between waiting for someone to ask and choosing to give. It's knowing your husband has an early meeting and deciding to iron his shirt, not because you're obligated, but because you love him. It's brewing his morning coffee not because he can't make it himself, but because you want to make him feel seen. This isn't about servitude. This is about emotional currency, the little acts of love that keep relationships alive. Part 9. Restoring the connection, what both partners can do. So where do we go from here? Men must reclaim their sense of healthy masculinity. That means setting clear boundaries, communicating expectations, and being strong enough to walk away from disrespect. Not with cruelty, but with dignity. Women must reclaim their authentic femininity. That means tapping into their emotional awareness, learning to recognize when the relationship is drifting, and choosing honesty over betrayal. Both partners must stop waiting for the other to change and start working on themselves. Love after 50 isn't about comfort zones. It's about growth, communication, and vulnerability.